Today on Carpooling with Ben, I have Wareham's greatest musician, Miss Grace Morrison. Grace,
Hi.
Thanks for joining me in the car today. What's going on?
Well, the sun is shining.
It is.
And it's warm.
I know. I think. Well, I mean, let's come right out. I mean, we're recording this on probably could possibly be a record-breaking day in October.
Is it?
For temperature, yeah, it could. If we hit like 81, which we're at 72,
Wow.
we're down at the Cape. It's got to hit like 81 down at like Providence Airport or something, which is really in Warwick.
Is it?
Providence Airport. Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's close, but don't worry. It's all
Okay.
good. It's all good. So, Grace, welcome to the car. Thanks so
Thanks.
much. How's things going?
Good. I'm recording a new music video this week. It's the most exciting thing ever.
Yeah, I saw some photos up. You were over at Plymouth Plantation.
Uh-huh.
Very cool. So talk to me about the video.
Well, my childhood dream was
Okay.
to be a pilgrim. Like, that is all I cared about ever. Until
Okay.
Hocus Pocus came out, and then I wanted to be one of the witches. And so, anyway, the song's about America, and like the moment I thought I had like the inkling of room to be a pilgrim, I was on it.
All right. So you wanted to be a pilgrim. So that's why we're filming a music video at Plymouth Plantation. All right.
It's a childhood dream come true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Any shots of the video going to be on the Mayflower too?
No, although they are right now trying to raise money to restore the Mayflower.
Oh, okay. Well, people can, I'm sure, maybe you can write a song about that and help them to...
Yeah, I'm going to be doing some fundraising for that.
Oh, cool.
Which is another dream come true, like anything to be a pilgrim.
But how you raise money is through music, and that's what you do. Music's been your life for a long time. When did you start playing? It's guitar. You started on...
I started with piano.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep, I started when I was five and a half, because I was just like, you talk about shy. I would walk around behind my mother with my head under her shirt.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It was bad.
All right.
And it was like anything involving people my own age, I was out.
All
If
right.
it was with elderly folks, I was very comfortable.
Okay.
That's my scene, is nursing homes.
All right.
But, so anyway, my parents realized I needed something to give me a little confidence, and it was piano.
Okay. So you started playing that when you were...
Like 5 and a half.
5 and a half, okay. And then when did you transition to guitar? Because
When
that-
Hanson arrived on the scene.
When Hanson, okay, so the Bop era.
I have no shame about this.
That's okay. I mean, Hanson, they were great. They're still touring now, I believe.
They're amazing, and they have a beer out called Hops.
Hops.
That's good, right?
Okay, all right. I am not particularly a beer drinker.
Neither am I. I just
but
think that's amazing.
It's cool to have an Hops. So that's cool. So you have done. You've been working on a multi-layered release of your album.
Yes.
One part of it came out recently, and you did a live version of it at the Zeiterion Theater in New Bedford.
Yeah.
And you have a live CD out, which I've had in my car, and I've featured on many a drives as I've driven through the highways and byways of New England to various gigs and whatnot. So, what's the next step as far as that goes? As far as what's the next process in that?
Well, I have a couple of projects I'm working on. So, I'm working with one producer, John Farrell, and we're releasing one single every month.
Okay.
For 10 months.
Wow.
And then I'm working on another full-length release that I'm just going to do the old-fashioned way with John Evans.
Okay.
Out of Orleans.
Wow. There's a lot of like musical resources out here. I mean, we're at the beginning of the Cape. We're in Wareham. It's the gateway to Cape Cod. But there's a lot of different resources out here. So it's pretty, I don't want to say it's easy, but it's pretty convenient to network out here with a lot of the musicians. And there's a lot of big name artists that work out here as well. Have you ever like collaborated with any of those, people who have traveled more regionally or nationally? Have you worked with any of them or?
Like, local folks
Yeah.
who have done that? And the biggest people that I played with was when I didn't even know who these people were, but it was the guitar player from the Steve Miller Band, Greg Douglas. It was amazing, and I was like, who's Steve Miller Band? I don't know. I was like 17, I didn't know.
Oh,
and the drummer from
fans.
AC/DC was there. And Badfinger, the guitarist from Badfinger.
Okay. So you've dabbled in these different.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Cool.
sang backup for Eddie Money.
All right.
That was fun.
That was I
It's
remember.
not really local.
Right.
but
No, I remember that. Where was that gig at?
That was for Rock for Christmas.
Okay.
And it was at
where
the Hard Rock Cafe. And is it? It's not Mohegan Sun. It's the other one.
Foxwoods.
Foxwoods.
Oh, that's cool.
It was
What was
one of
like
the
that?
two. Anyway,
Yeah.
it was the Hard Rock Cafe.
Because you also do vocals. Obviously, you singer-songwriter, so you sing as well. And
Yes.
You've done a number of you do a lot of performances. I think both South Shore and towards the Cape. But you've traveled a bit too.
This past year I have, yeah.
Yeah, where did you go this past year?
I went to San Diego, and then I was a finalist for a songwriting competition at the Wildflower Music Festival in Texas.
Wow.
Which is right near Dallas. That was awesome.
Any dreams of going to South by Southwest with you?
Oh, yes. I have all the dreams. I'll do any of it.
Absolutely. So buy those songs today to help fund those dreams. So talk to me about what you're going to be doing with the video that you shot earlier at Plymouth Plantation.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay.
That is...
How can we help?
Well, any sort of marketing advice would be ideal for me.
Oh, jeez.
Or sharing. Just sharing of the video would be amazing.
All right,
so... We're going to finish it Monday.
All right.
And then just lots of sharing.
All right, so after this episode comes out, it will be out soon.
Yes.
So if people go to your Facebook page, people go to your website, they follow you on those various formats, they can find when it's going to be out there, and then to share it.
Yes.
All
sharing
right.
is the key.
All right, cool.
And the song itself is going to be out this week.
All right. Well, so it's perfect timing. What's the song about?
I tried not to get too political. I think it is a generalization. I think it could apply to anybody's view.
Okay.
I just want people to consider other people. We get so, this is the only way to do things.
Yeah.
And I think we get so inside of ourselves that we don't really consider how the very same things could affect other people differently.
All right.
That's what I'm going for.
All right.
Just
I like that.
thinking of others.
Thinking of others.
In America.
There you go. Happy Thoughts with Grace. That could be an album title. Could we name it that? Happy
Thoughts with Grace.
Happy Thoughts with Grace.
There's a teacher that I work with at Rick's Music, and every time he sees me, he goes, "Oh, there's Happy Little Grace. Hearts and flowers and rainbows." Every time he sees me.
What's wrong with hearts and flowers and rainbows?
Well, nothing is that I do have another layer. I think that people just don't believe in that other layer that I have.
What is the other layer?
I can get frustrated.
Okay. Well, anybody can.
But my niece, for example, just tells me that it's funny and not believable when I put my foot down. Because I literally say, "I'm putting my foot down," and then the anger's just never, it doesn't translate.
Uh-huh.
So there's more than hearts and flowers and rainbows here.
All right. Well, but everybody likes the hearts and flowers and rainbows. Hearts and flowers and rainbows works for you, so I say just go with that.
Like a Care Bear.
Yeah. You could be like a happy Care Bear, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I could do that.
So many visualizations we can do for your album cover, I think, on the next go round. So you talked about that you teach at Rick's Music World in Rainham. How long have you been teaching, and what is that like?
I've been teaching, I started when I was 16,
okay,
actually, and the thing I love about it the most is I think when you're playing all the time and you're just constantly doing it, you can start to get, the luster can get lost a little bit, and so when I have a student that has a breakthrough or is really just passionate about what they're doing, it just reignites that in me.
What do you teach at Rick's?
Voice, piano, guitar, songwriting.
Yeah. It's a lot.
I could do a little bit of accordion.
You could.
But not as much as you.
Which is what we have in common because, I do play piano. I can play piano. But accordion was what I started out on. And you showed me one of your accordions one time. What's the name on it?
Linda, she looks like a 50s diner.
It does. It's she literally has an accordion. And right over the bellows it says Linda in big, bright, sparkly letters. And sadly, I never had my name monogrammed on my accordion.
It's a shame.
I know. It's maybe I'll have to have it bedazzled or something.
I think you should, because my students remember Linda. They always request her.
Really?
Yep. It's not an accordion. It's just Linda.
Where did you get that?
eBay.
But now you have a more newer accordion that's all in tune. The reeds haven't gone out on it. That's a Roland, right?
It is a Roland.
It's
yes.
white.
It's pearly, and so I needed a name, obviously, because Linda had her name.
Right. So
I have a student who was Polish, and she told me that pearl in Polish is Pedua.
Pedua.
So that's her name.
So you're gonna bedazzle that?
No, the spelling. I'm not solid on the spelling. No.
You should just have Grace Morrison. When you open up the bellows, it could be your logo. So
that would be great.
That would be a lot of fun. So how you and I got to know each other was through the Cardi's Furniture, the Big Break contest.
Yes,
you won a few years ago.
Yes.
Which is a lot of fun. We did a video with you over at the Biltmore Hotel.
Beautiful.
Off of that video and off of that whole success of that song, what did that do for you career-wise, as far as like, notoriety? Did it help? Did it help people recognize who you are and boost you, recognize you as an artist?
Yeah, I think before that, I mean, people knew that I sang, performed, but I think they just assumed it was like cover music.
Okay.
And so I got a lot of, oh, you write songs? Which is funny because, yeah, I've been doing it for a really long time. So I think people started to realize what I was trying to do.
All right.
Which was awesome. And I got to dress up in a period outfit, which again is just what my life is all about.
Right. Getting all sorts of...
Yeah, in a different time period.
Yeah. Where do you hope to go with the new album once it's out? And are you looking to grow next year, like doing more singer-songwriter things? Are you looking to... What would be the ultimate, if somebody came to you and said, Grace, here's the opportunity. What is that golden opportunity for you?
I would just love to live off of my songwriting.
Okay.
Whether it be singing my own songs or other people performing my stuff. That is the dream. I would like to spend my entire day writing and singing.
Well, you're growing your reach too, because recently your songs are now on Pandora.
Yes.
People can find your music on Pandora.
Yes.
Which is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Where else can they find your music?
iTunes, all of the platforms.
On the iTunes.
I did it all.
Okay.
There's an option when you upload your music, do it all, and that's what I hit that one.
Everywhere. Send it out to the world. So here's a question I like to ask musicians from time to time. Because you started out playing music before social media, what do you think would have happened if the Beatles were around and Facebook was around at the same time? What do you think would have happened? Do you think the Beatles would have been as big as they were if Facebook was around in the 60s?
That's an interesting question. Because I can think back, I sometimes think about, where would I be if it didn't exist?
Where was that
for me?
Be tougher?
Probably nowhere.
It'd be tougher.
Yeah. It's amazing how helpful that is.
It's huge.
So
for the Beatles, who were that one shot, that one chance...
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if they wouldn't have been as big because there would have been so many other bands would have had that opportunity to put themselves out there. They wouldn't have been the only one.
Maybe the Monkees wouldn't have been the flash in the pan.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they would have gone bigger. So.
Mm-hmm. That's
it's all philosophy things. It's philosophy with Grace. Hearts and flowers and sunshine.
Pilgrims.
With pilgrims, yes. When you start writing a song, how do you get the inspiration? What triggers okay, I should start penning this down?
It's variable.
Okay.
For a while, it was. I obviously love to read a lot of historical nonfiction. And to make it more real for myself, I would imagine myself being the person, and I would get a lot of songs that way.
Okay.
Working in a Renaissance fair helped with that.
Yeah, you worked for
King Richard's Fair.
You've done that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I did that for 4 years.
How many turkey legs did you eat?
None. I had no turkey legs.
Really? That's the quintessential thing. Everybody gets a turkey leg.
I just don't like to get all greasy because then I had to go play piano.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it just wasn't practical for me.
Yeah.
But then other times I just have this feeling like there's a song in there, and it's time to get the guitar and the paper.
How many songs have you written?
Hundreds.
Yeah. No solid number. It's a ton.
Hundreds.
Yeah.
And they're not all good. In fact, they're mostly not good.
Well, I mean, they're all great. They're all great. So, I mean, the creations that you've made.
Listen, see, my whole philosophy with writing, though, is I don't edit myself, so I just let whatever comes out. And oftentimes it's not very good. But I think it's important to keep stuff coming out. So most of the songs are not good. There's maybe I don't know, maybe a quarter of them I would say are good.
All right. How do you feel about the increased use of the ukulele? Seems like everybody these days is using a ukulele.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great that playing stringed instruments is becoming more accessible to everyone. Mm-hmm. I also teach ukulele.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's great for that.
Okay.
I don't use it, though.
No, you don't just sit there and
No, because I feel like everyone's doing the ukulele thing, so I'm just trying to bring the accordion back.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. It's a workout.
Yeah.
Ukulele is not a workout. You can burn way more calories with an accordion.
Just carrying it to the venue.
Yeah. Yeah. And you need very little effort to get a really loud sound that gets people's attention. Yeah.
I think just having it. Did I ever tell you I was at the Emerald Square Mall in my Jeep one time, and I had the top up and the windows and everything. I had my accordion in the back seat, I came out of the mall. I did some shopping. I came out. Somebody had razored open one of my windows and left another accordion there. It's terrible. It's terrible stuff. So it's.
But one of my favorite memories is when you played accordion and drums for me at the same time.
Yeah, what was that? When was that?
That was
at the
in Gardner?
yes.
And I think that's a skill that you could
Gardner
really
Ale House.
market.
Yes, I can market that. Sure, it's I can work once a year. That was 2 years ago. I can work once every 2 years. That's great.
But you
Great
got
news,
that.
Susan. We're getting that hot tub real soon. Yes. Cash in on that skill. The Gardner Ale House. I love the Gardner Ale House because they sell stickers like for the back of your car that say "Gah," G-A-H, Gah. It's kind of like you didn't see. Oh, they had them up on the wall. It just said "Gah." It's kind of like it was the big craze a couple of years ago when people would have the white sticker with the black letters of the three letter ID for their country, like Australia or France, or people had BI for Block Island. Some people have 26.2 because they run marathons.
Oh,
fancy.
I've seen that one. I could get a 1 on mine. 1 mile.
I have one that says GFY. Good for you. It's like so. It's goofy.
I like the cheese board at the Gardner Ale House. That's my favorite part.
Okay, yes, I've seen the cheese board ordered a number of times. I played there on New Year's Eve, and they put out this huge spread. Huge lobster tails, unlimited. Let me tell you something.
That was where my very first gig was.
Where?
Right in there.
At the.
It was called the Four Winds Solstice Center.
All right,
just above Chen's Kitchen.
Just Chen's. Look at that, passing historical stuff where Grace played once.
But lobster tails.
The lobster. Oh man, I'm so glad we're on the Cape. We just catch them and boil them up. So we got to figure out where we're going for lunch today. So it's a fire station. So if people want to learn more about all the fun things that Grace is doing out there, they can obviously go to your Facebook page,
yes.
Grace Morrison.
Yes.
They can go to iTunes and download all the music. It's great. It's a lot of fun. I understand you're working on a new Cardi's commercial.
I am working on a new
because you did Silent Night a couple of years ago, and people heard that and liked that. So don't tell us anything about it because we want to be surprised. You shan't.
I shan't.
They shan't. Right back to King Richard's Fair there. So
I can't help it.
No, it's fun. I mean, you live when you live in Wareham, and you live, when you live down here in the onset Cape Cod area, you have to. I feel like because it's all close. You're right down the road from Plymouth. I mean, this is all sorts of pilgrimy.
I consider myself very lucky.
Pilgrimy speak. So it's good stuff.
I work on my accent all the time.
It's like it's 2 interviews. But next time we do this, you're doing that all in
I could.
You could pull it off.
I could do that. Yeah.
All right.
I often teach entirely in an accent.
Really?
I do.
How long are the lessons?
It's good for student retention. Half an hour.
Okay.
Some kids have an hour, but mostly half hour.
All right. Do you feel like you accomplished much in the half hour?
Depends on the kid.
Okay.
Some children have a lot to say.
Truth with Grace. There's another album, Truth with Grace.
Yeah. I
Graceful Truth.
I have some students who come, they're just so stressed out from trying to learn things at school. They're like, I just didn't practice this week. And so what we do instead is we write a song about what they're learning in school.
Oh,
and we just tie it all together.
And that's a lesson in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge.
It's the most fun lesson.
Does Rick still do their open mic night?
They do every Thursday.
Every Thursday. If you get a chance, go check it out. Rick's Music World in Rainier, Massachusetts. Every Thursday they do an open mic. Starts around 7, I believe.
Yep. Sign-ups are at 6:30.
6:30. And it's great because they're students who take lessons at the school. This is a great chance for them to learn how to perform in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
And also they have coffee and cookies.
Mm-hmm. And it's delicious coffee.
It's very good coffee.
And the ambiance is unparalleled.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're you're in the store, they got a nice little stage there, some lights and everything. Rick's the man,
I don't know anything else around here like that. When I was a kid,
you're right.
When I first started performing, there was this place called the Hardware Cafe in Marion, and they had open mic nights, and they had music 7 nights a week, and that's where I learned how to play.
Mm-hmm.
And they shut down, but Rick's is pretty close to what that was, and it's great for kids starting out.
And you don't have to be a student of there. You can just come in and at 6:30 sign up if there's space, and You know, and Rick's has got a great selection of musical instruments there as well. I mean, not to turn this into commercial for Rick's, but they're very good people. I've always loved working with them. Always great stuff. Can you buy a ukulele at Rick's?
You for sure can buy a ukulele, also an accordion.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, I say we skip lunch. Let's go straight to Rick's and go shopping. So. Well, Grace, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure chatting with you. Be sure to find all of Grace's music out there. Download it today. You won't be disappointed. Blast the music of her new song that's coming out next week. You know, so that'll be the week of what? The 25th. Mm-hmm. So week of October 25th. If you're watching this afterwards, just download it anyway. Who cares? Get the information. It's a lot of fun. Grace, always a pleasure.
Thanks, Ben.
Take care.
You too.